and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to explain class 9th poem, Wind, which was originally written in Tamil by Tamil poet Subramania Bharati. It was translated to English by another poet, Mr. A.K Ramanuja, who is well known for his translation of classical and modern poetry. The poem Wind talks about the power of nature or impact of nature. It also talks about human feelings or emotions. In this video, I will give line-by-line explanation of the poem. I will also explain literal meaning of the poem, and then we will discuss poetic devices and question answers. So let's get started. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. Here, the poet urges the wind to blow softly and not cause any havoc by breaking windows, shutters, scattering papers, or throwing down books from the shelves. He also requests the wind to be soft and not to be destructive. Now, next line. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. Now, since the wind is very strong, it has thrown down all the books from shelves, torn the pages of the books, and has brought strong rain. Now, the poet says, you are very clever at poking fun at weakling. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. Here, frail means weak and crumbling means falling apart. You must notice that the poet has repeated crumbling many times. This is a figure of speech called repetition, in which if the poet wants to focus or put emphasis on certain idea, he uses that word many times. Here, the poet wants to put focus on the destructive power of nature, so he has used crumbling many times. Now, the poet feels that the wind is extremely clever and it likes to trouble and make fun of those who are weak. It crumbles and destroys all those who are weak, be it houses, doors, wood, or rafts. He also crushes weak bodies and lives and hearts. Now, students, wind is a symbol of power and strength. Here, strong and destructive wind can also be compared to atrocities and hardships in life. If they are strong enough to influence your life, what happens? They crumble and destroy your life and the loved ones, isn't it? Now see next line. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell. So come, let's build strong homes. Winnow is the process in which the grain is separated from the husk or chaff. The poet here says that the wind god blows away all and crushes those who are weak. He doesn't listen to others. He doesn't do what people tell him to do. In the last line, the poet has urged everyone to come together. So students, we saw in the above line that the poet has focused on the destructive power of the wind. He says that wind, when it is very strong, it destroys everything, whatever comes on its way. So in the last, he is urging everyone to be strong, to come together. Now see next line. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Steadfast means strong. Now the poet appeals all to come together and face the wind collectively. He tells people to be firm, positive, and strong, both physically as well as mentally. That also means that we should be firm, positive, and strong in front of difficulties in life. If bad thoughts or atrocities try to divide us, we should come together and face them strongly. Now, next, the poet is saying, do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. We praise every day. Students, you must have seen that feeble fires are blown out just by the blow of our mouth. Have you seen that? And when the fire is strong, like those of forest fires, what happens? What does wind do? It helps in making it strong and spreading it further. So the poet says that we must be strong if we want to be friends with the wind. As wind only troubles those who are weak. It only blows out weak fire, but aids strong fire. So if we are strong, then wind will not only befriend us, but also help us in success. So, if we compare them with the problems and hardships in our life, if we fall weak in front of these hardships, they will destroy us. But if we are strong enough to face them, these hardships will make us stronger and help us live life in a better way. So, students, this was the line by line explanation of the poem. In a nutshell, let me give you a summary of the poem. Through the poem, the poet wants to say that wind, when it is very strong, destroys and crumbles everything that comes on its way. Everything which is weak. Wind crumbles weaklings. But on the other hand, if we are strong enough, firm and together, wind will not be able to destroy us, but strengthen us. Just like it blows out weak fire but aids strong fire. In the similar way, problems and hardships destroy those who give up in front of them. Those who stand strong and face them with open arms become strong and live life in a better way. So this was the line by line explanation of the poem. Students, I hope you have understood the poem and its literal meaning. Now, let's see the tone, theme, and poetic devices used in the poem. As in the whole poem, the poet is making an appeal to the wind, and he's also making an appeal to the people to come together. So the tone is making an appeal. The theme is the poet talks about facing hardships in life and be strong. So the theme is facing hardships and being strong in life. Now let's see the poetic or literary devices used by the poet. First, if we see the poem, the entire poem is written in free verses and there are no rhyming words used in the poem. So there is no rhyming scheme in the poem. Now let's see the figure of speech used by the poet. First, in the whole poem, the poet has addressed the wind like you, and in the last few lines, he has also addressed it as he. So, poet has treated wind as a human. He has addressed the wind as human. So, he has used personification. Personification is the figure of speech when human characters are given to any non-living thing. Next figure of speech we'll see is anaphora. Anaphora is a figure of speech in which word is repeated in the beginning of the line for 2 or more consecutive times. Like in the line 2, 3, 4 and 6, 7, 8. In 2, 3, 4, the lines start with don't. Don't break the shutters, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books. So here anaphora is used. In line 6, 7 and 8 also, the line begins with you. You tore the pages, you brought rain, you are very clever. So there is anaphora in these lines. Next, I have already told you there is repetition as the word crumbling has been used many times. So there is repetition in this line. Repetition is when a word is repeated many times to lay emphasis on certain idea. Next figure of speech is alliteration. In the word wind god winnows, W and W are closely placed letter or sound which are repeating. So occurrence of same letter or sound in closely connected words is alliteration. So there is alliteration in this line. Next, I have already told you wind is symbol of power and strength, and here strong wind represents atrocities in life. So in this line there is symbolism. So these were the figure of speech or poetic devices used in the poem. Now let's go to some question answers. Question 1. What are the things wind does in first stanza? In first stanza, we have seen that the wind is coming very violently and strongly and destroying everything. It breaks the shutters of windows, scatters papers, throw down the books from shelves, tear the pages and bring a lot of rain. So this is what the wind is doing in the first stanza. Next question. What does the poet say the wind god winnows? What does it winnows? Winnows means separating husk from the wheat. So what does wind winnows? It winnows weaklings from the strong ones. So this is what the wind god does. The wind separates the weak from the strong, toss and destroy them. Next question. What should we do to make friends with the wind? As we have seen in the poem in the last line, the poet has said that we must be strong. We must build strong homes, firm doors, and make our body and heart strong. Then wind will not harm us Instead, it will become friends with us and help us to grow and flourish just like it does with the strong fire. Last question. What do the last four lines of the poem mean to you? See, the last four lines have very strong literal meanings. The last four lines carry an important message that strong people emerge stronger and victorious in the face of adversities. We must make ourselves strong like burning fire, which grows and flourishes in the violent wind. We also prosper in the face of challenges in the same way if we are strong enough. So these were the question answers, and that was the explanation of beautiful poem Wind. I hope students you have understood the poem well, and you have also understood the literal meaning, rhyming scheme and question answer of the poem. This is all for now in this video. Thank you. I will see you in my next video.